Hola, 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 mi gente. So today I want to show off some artwork, some failed and some successes. um, for my college classes, I had to take some art, basic drawing, and 2D art. And in my basic drawing class, and it's been a little bit since I've taken these classes. It was like during my first semester. I had to take my art classes and yeah, so it's been a little minute, so I may not remember every little intricate detail that I needed for each assignment, but I still have some of the artwork, of course, claro, and I just want to share and show some. So for my basic drawing, clearly it was just learning the basics. We did work with a lot of black and white, which is my fave. I love black and white art. I've always been a sketcher and I like topography, graffiti, that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, the only time I really worked with color is with my digital art, which is different because there's a redo button, okay? A lot of control Z's when I work with color. No, but yeah, I just worked with color more on my digital side. But just like free-handed and all of that, I just like carrying a pencil or a marker and all of that. Just something simple. But we worked with charcoal, just the markers, graphites, just that, and just learning the basics, and kind of stepping into like drawing those triangle cylinders, kind of that realism aspect, learning shadows. And for my 2D, that was more like painting and working with a bit of color, more color in acrylics. I did do some black and white with that class, but it was mostly painting and color. So, yeah, it was a good mix of both my first semesters, but let's get into the art, right? So this first piece, um, I call Tree TV. Sorry. Because it's a tree that's a TV. And for this assignment, I hope you can see it. Okay. For this assignment, it was line work, dealing with lines, and everything had to be a line, I think, something like that. I did kind of break the rules a bit, I believe, when we were critiquing, but I'm proud of this. I love this. This is like normally what I would sketch, my type of style, my type of artwork, my signature Fugatti face. Well, originally it's Thomas Dead. But that's a whole different story how that came to be. But yeah, and I did little plugins. I remember my teacher said like I went off the border because if you take this off, there's more of the paper. But yeah, that was the whole point though, like the plugins going off the border to make it seem like that, whatever. But yeah, we had to do a little summary of like line work and all of that. But overall, this is what I created for the line work project. It just came to my mind. I just sketched a piece. And yeah, I was inspired by the trees because with trees and bark, you know, um, there's a lot of line work, organic lines. And this is like the brain of the tree as well, and the energy. This is just the type of stuff I sketch, and I just yeah, added a whole bunch of lines. I wasn't really proud of the 3D balls. I wanted to make like kind of like it was in space as well. I don't know. But I wanted a 3D effect. It's okay. But we couldn't do like shadowing though. But I did a little smudging. Like I forgot what we couldn't do. We couldn't do shading or something like that, you know. Um so yeah, it was just I wasn't too happy with them, but they're okay. They're okay. But yeah, 3TV. um and we also did a lot of like miscellaneous assignments as well, but that is actually in my other sketchbook, and that's in the attic, and I just forgot it up there. But we did a lot of like that's where I have um like we drew a bird and you know like a bottle, all that stuff, and it was with charcoal. I adore charcoal. I love working with charcoal. Black and white and just charcoal just come easily to me rather than painting and colors. Black and white just comes easy to the eye and all of that. But yeah, that's in my other sketchbook that I left upstairs. And I also did like a milk carton, which was so good. My milk carton was mwah. And like a cylinder, triangle, all that stuff. But I left it at the school, hanging on the wall, and it just disappeared. I have no idea where it's at. Kind of blue, but that's kind of on me because I left it there. But I just forgot. So yeah. But the next one we're gonna get into is this was for our final project. We had creative freedom. We could do whatever, and of course I chose charcoal, and this is just what I created. Says Fugatti. Again, this is my type of, this is something I would sketch in my regular schmegular sketchbook. Yeah, I just wanted to do something with the skull, you know, and again, I really do enjoy like line work and all that stuff, and just like lightning bolt type of type of effect. I can't talk. But and adding words to it, that's kind of my thing. I love adding just words, especially Fugatti, Fugazi, Fugatti, all of that, and just little symbolisms with the eyes. I love drawing eyes and things within them. And again, little small line work everywhere throughout the skull. My signature heart. And it says K3Y. I just thought that was a really cool effect that I did right there. Kind of like a static TV, because that's also my type of thing. Along with, as you can see with the tree TV, especially with my digital like art, with when it comes to editing, drawing, and all of that, I'm really into the vintage static TV style. I did a lot of edits with that, and yeah, it just kind of gives that effect, I feel like, with the key. So yeah. And I remember like to get this white, I didn't have the tool to, you know, like use the gummy eraser to get those thin lines, to erase it thinly. I think I just used the tip of a pencil and stuck some of that gummy on there and went crazy. But yes, I had to use the different types of charcoal. I used the bricked up one, the one that's a little bit harder, and of course the softer ones as well, but just to really get that deep black background so the white can pop more. But this honestly took forever. It really did. I was a little bit late to turn it in, but your girl gotta finish. But yeah, I really enjoy that one as well. So that's it for my basic drawing. Again, I did do more drawings in that class, but they're just in my other sketchbook. And a lot of it were just like random stuff or unfinished things. Typical artist shit, you know. But now for my 2D drawing, for one of my projects was about like perspective and like size and stuff. Essentially, we had to take an object, for example, like an ant, and upscale it, because an ant is typically small. So you would draw, you know, a huge ant looking over a human or something, or like a penny, and make it the perspective as if it was huge, like human sized or something like that. And so for this project, I did a diamond ring. This is honestly my favorite one that I've done. And of course, I did charcoal. I added some color, okay? But don't worry, we'll get to the color and painting, all that fun stuff in a bit. But yes, pretty much I had a couple ideas for this project, but I erased those ideas and I was like, diamond ring, I'm like, this just flowed more naturally for me in drawing it. And also in the cave, because essentially real diamonds, they come from deep within the earth, in caves and all of that stuff. And so I just thought like somebody proposing in a cave with a huge ring, because it is very typical for the lady to want a huge ring and all of that. But that wasn't the purpose of this drawing, but that was my perspective of it. Because essentially, we want this connection. It's not about this. It's about this. But truly. But I just loved, the outcome and the meaning behind it. Just the huge ring and the light. This is just my favorite one, honestly. But yes, I enjoy this one. Okay. All right, so now for a fail. And of course, it's a painting. Of course. So I don't know if this was a final or what it was. I honestly forgot. But it was a project essentially. And I think we had creative freedom. We didn't have I don't think it was much rules to it or anything like that. But I chose like to do a painting, and let me just show you. Ta-da! This is a failed painting. I was very ambitious when it came to this class and just painting in general. Drawing realism and all of that just came much harder for me, because my type of style of art is not realism or along those lines. And like painting, I don't paint too much. I've done little stuff, but I normally do not paint. So this class really introduced me to a different side of the art world. Nothing super new, but it pushed me to be in it. And I kind of got jumbled up at times with certain projects, and I would try to be unrealistic with myself and be a bit ambitious to some of the artwork I wanted to do in this class. But yeah, I had a whole vision in my head, and I sketched it out. And of course, sketching comes easily to me, but painting does not. And painting takes time and effort. But yeah, I had a whole idea with this. Essentially, I wanted to do something with space. I wanted a space drawing and something with Earth. As if you were on Earth, but looking at the sky as if you were in space. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But yeah, I drew the Milky Ways you know, this came real easily, the Milky Ways and all of that. Really enjoyed them. Grass took forever. And it has like a spine and the ribs, and it kind of makes a heart in a way with the flowers. It took me forever to get this dirt as well. Just this whole painting was a headache. But yeah, I'm not too mad about like the grass and everything, especially for my first time with doing these types of paintings. Um yeah, I'm not too mad at it, but right here I could not I wanted a sun, but I could not get the sun for the life of me. Okay. I like did the sun like 10 times. I don't know how many times, but it was a lot, where I'm trying to create the sun and I'm like, it's terrible. It's not coming out how it's supposed to. It's not my vision and all of that. And I would paint black over it. Gotta wait for it to dry, all of that. And you know, we had weeks to work on this. I remember we had weeks, and I got right to it. So this took me, you know, a little bit of time to get it all together. But I could not do the sun. I tried to ask for advice from my instructor, and he gave me some advice, but I still couldn't get the sun down with his advice. And I don't know, maybe I just needed him to like physically show me and guide me through it. I try to do research on my own with YouTube and getting that sun, that realistic, bold sun that I wanted, but I had to give up. It was getting to me, honestly. This piece was, and I was just like, I can't do it. And literally the last night, the night before I had to present and we were gonna critique our projects, I was like, I can't do this. I was stressing just a little bit. And I just was not proud of it. And I just felt like no connection to this piece anymore. I was just like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You know, I was coming to just despise it. And yeah, late at night, I scratched this. I'm like, I give up on this, and I started a whole new painting because I just couldn't get it right. You know, I'm like, I need to do something else. So I was sitting on the ground for a bit just thinking, and I had like my art stuff, you know, on the floor, and I had my pencil pouch, and I instantly was like, it inspired me. It was a pencil pouch of a reptile's eye, and with cool colors like green, yellowish, purplish colors to it. And I was like, I love drawing eyes and things within them. I could do a space, a galaxy with that reptile eye. And so within like 4 to 8 hours, I don't remember the timeline. It might have been 4 to 6 hours, maybe 6 hours. Okay, whatever. But it was a short time for the night before, and just, ya tú sabes, okay. But I had ended up with this, and yes, this needs more work, I know, but I was much more proud of myself and of this, and felt more comfortable to present this. This felt like more like me, you know. um and if I started this first, if I came up with this idea first, then, you know, this probably would have been a whole bunch of detail and honestly would have been crazy. But I could still add to it. Like, I still need to add some depth, you know, to this, some darkness, blend it in more, and just to give that pop and realism effect and add more like scaly type of effects, all that stuff. I know this needs a little more work, but for the time that I had, oh my goodness, I'm going back to the memories of me. My back hurting, I'm on the floor, stressing, painting. It was fun though. It was fun. And waiting for it to dry so then I could paint the layers and layers onto it. Yeah, it was a time, but the galaxy and all that came fairly easy. And I also wanted this to be yellow to represent that sun, and it gives it that boldness, and it just matches well with that red as well. And what I was going for with this red was kind of like a curtain effect, like it's opening, and you just see the eye. But yeah, I was much more proud of this, and yeah, it has some of that like purple in there, that green, just that reptile's eye. This was just, and that's one thing that I struggled with in this 2D art class, because it brought me to a whole new art style when it comes to painting, because I'm not a painter, I don't even consider myself like an artist, like that, because that's not what I want to be. I just do drawing and sketching for fun. Always have, always will, in my digital art and all of that. So in a way, of course, I am an artist, but it's not something I want to endow in for career wise and all of that. And I was, in class with people that wanted to be artists and that wanted to be in that career field, and who knows the color theories and all of that stuff. So, it was a fun class, but I definitely did get challenged, and I just kind of froze up a bit with my art style. I feel like I didn't express myself enough and become like more creative than I should have been. I was trying to be creative, but I was being too ambitious with my style and trying to do details I couldn't do, and I just wish I did more of my style. Like, I just overthinked it, especially in this class. Like, I would overthink what I was going to paint. I don't know why. When I get into the painting zone, especially for a project and we're gonna get critiqued and all of that, it puts a little more pressure on you, and I just overthinked a lot in this 2D class, because I wanted to challenge myself, but I was just being too ambitious at times and holding myself back from my creative freedom and what I would normally just create out of the mind, you know and yeah, and that's what it taught me, just to like chill out and paint as if you were sketching, in a way. But yeah, I really enjoyed this though. I do like this a lot. Also, this last painting is actually this heart painting. I could actually take it down. Yes. I really like this painting, but it's missing something, and I remember with this, we had to take like a picture and put like a black and white picture and then make it with color. I forget what this was about, honestly, but it was something with a picture, and I chose a heart, a human heart, and yeah, I love it. But what I originally wanted to do as well was add blue veins to it, and it just didn't work out, and I just left it basic. But I wish I added my topography in there with the veins. Like, I wish I just thought out of the box, because in this class it made me really think inside the box, I feel like, because we had certain rules to the assignment and stuff, but we also had creative freedom. But I just, at times I kept things too simple, and at other times I was just being too ambitious, and I was just kind of flip-floppy everywhere. But it helped me learn overall. But this, I wish I just went crazy, because I was doing like an aura effect, but I was really struggling with this aura effect because it wasn't coming out how I wanted it to. But the heart was cool, but the aura effect and stuff, I just wish I added like an electric effect, you know, kind of like the style I do is like that electricity, energy, field effect. And I wish I thought of that with that blue, because we also had to do something with color theory now. We had to pick a certain color wheel. I remember something like that. But yeah, I wish I added that blue in there and, you know, created some type of energy field, maybe with a little typography, you know, something. I just wish I added more of my style, because this, it's cute, but it's just a heart, you know, it's just like, I feel like it's missing something as well. Like, yeah, because I added that blue right here, but you could barely tell, like, it needs something more, I feel like. But I mean, this painting really got me out of my comfort zone with painting, you know. This type of stuff. So yeah, put this baby right back. Okay, so that was, you know, old artwork. That was from last year, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, last year. So I definitely still have been sketching here and there on my free time when I'm bored, you know, trying to get my creativeness still in there. I have this sketchbook. This is a newer sketchbook of mine's. My cousin had gave me this sketchbook one year, and I finally decided to put some use into it. Brand new, and I just be still doing like little miscellaneous sketches. This is from a while ago, honestly, but I want to show like more recent stuff, because I definitely have learned from these art classes, and it's given me a different view of art and my personal style. I got to understand more of my artistic skill and style, you know. And it got me more into the realism side, because I do want to get better at realism, but also still just doing whatever I want. But yeah, just like random art like this, again with my typography. And this is my most recent sketch that I did. And yeah, it says autonomous. I love this sketch. Honestly, it's still kind of not finished because I missed some right here, actually, now looking at it. But yeah, pretty much behind this, at first it was just gonna be pencil. Like, I wasn't gonna go too deep with this, but it, you know, your mind just goes wherever. And I ended up drawing this little character. And, you know, I love DNA, learning about that. And, you know, I love like scientific things, especially when it comes with our bodies, mind, body, and soul, in my typical eye. In the brain, and just, yeah, I really love this so much. But yeah, also just have this. This is my most recent one. A friend of mine, she gave me a prompt to draw. Or she had a little list of like random words, and we were just picking out random prompts, and I picked potion teeth. Not finished, but this is my most recent one. I have nothing else in here. But I have been challenging myself to finish a sketch and move on to the next page. But this is my most favorite one ever. I'm really proud of this one. I really love it. And it's all like stenciling. I think that's what it's called with the dots. It's all dots. It is all, well, a little bit of lines, okay? Just a little bit. But yeah. But that is all I'm going to show. This video's long enough, right? I hope you enjoyed this little art show. And yeah, I can't wait to do more art. I love doing sketching still. I'm still am just always gonna be a sketcher. Pencil, black and white, some charcoal. I love working with the charcoal pencils. Love that. Still not a big painter and all. I love it. I enjoy it, but nothing beats a pencil and a paper, okay? At least for me. But yeah. Also check the fit. Gotta show the fits. Yes. Yeah. But I hope you enjoyed. Mwah.